everyone, welcome back to Clumsy Cakes. My name's Amy. So in honor of Halloween, we're making another Halloween recipe this week. And this week we're making a chocolate cake roll with chocolate frosting and Halloween candy rolled up inside. So let's get started. First, I'm just mixing up my egg yolks and sugar until light and fluffy. Why is this my concentration face? Even in editing, I am making this face. Anyway, so I'm just adding my dry ingredients and my milk in 2 different stages and just blending in between and scraping down the bottom and the sides of the bowl just to make sure that nothing gets stuck on the bottom and everything gets incorporated. So dry, wet, dry, wet. You can do it in 3 stages if you would like. I just think that 2 is enough. Now I'm just going to set this aside and whip up my egg whites to medium to stiff peaks. When you incorporate this into the rest of the batter, for the first addition you're going to add about maybe a third. And then you're just going to fold this in. You don't have to worry too much about deflating the air because this first addition is just to lighten up the batter a little bit and make it easier to work with. And then you're going to add the rest, and you want to be really careful to fold this very gently and make sure that you don't knock a lot of air out of this. The whole reason for doing this is to make the batter lighter and airier, so if you knock the air out of this, it really kind of defeats the purpose. And now we're just gonna grab a small jelly roll pan with some parchment paper and spray that parchment paper just to make sure that nothing sticks. Now just spread this batter out in an even layer. Just make sure you get in all of the corners of the pan. It will spread a little bit, but not too much. So just make sure that you get to all the corners there and everything is pretty flat. Now you're going to put this into your 350-degree oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. When you press the center and it springs back, it's done. While your cake is baking, you can prepare your work surface. I'm using a clean, lint-free kitchen towel to roll my cake up in. And I'm just sprinkling it with some confectioner sugar first, just to make sure the cake doesn't stick to the towel. When your cake has cooled to the point that it's cool enough to handle but still warm, you're just going to flip it onto your towel.
Thank you.
And now we're just going to do the same thing to this side that we did to the other side with the confectioner sugar, just to make sure that nothing sticks. And now you want to wrap this up tightly, but not too tight. If you wrap it up too tight, it might crack, and if you wrap it up too loose, you're not going to get a good spiral, so just kind of in the middle. Now just leave this to cool for about maybe another 45 minutes to an hour. Guys, just look at my outfit. I'm only halfway through. And this is the state of my outfit today. And after fully cooled, you're just going to unravel your cake. And with your frosting, you have options. What I went with is I went the easy route and I just took a can of Betty Crocker frosting or Duncan Hines. You know, one of the cheap frostings that you get at the grocery store. I just took that and I put a couple tablespoons of cocoa powder in there. I like to buy vanilla and then flavor it myself just so that I can control the flavor that goes into it. If you don't care, you can just get chocolate frosting. That's totally fine. The other thing you can do is I do have recipes for Swiss meringue buttercream or Italian meringue buttercream on my channel, and those would be absolutely delicious. I just kind of decided to take the easy way out here. I usually don't like to take the easy way out with recipes, but in this case it was still delicious, so I went with that. I just used a combination of my favorite Halloween candies here. I used some Milky Way, some Twix, some Snickers, and 3 Musketeers, as well as candy corn and M&Ms. You can use whatever combination you would like. Let me know down in the comments what you like. Just be careful to not add too many because it's going to be harder to roll up that way. And now I'm gonna roll my cake back up. It's gonna be easier this time because you're gonna kind of have a guide the way that you did it the first time. And that's why we do it that way the first time, because it kind of relaxes your cake and makes it so it won't crack as much. Mine did crack a little bit because it stuck to the towel a little bit, and that's totally fine. We're just going to cover it in some frosting after. But what I'm doing now is covering it in saran wrap and sticking it into the freezer for about 1 hour. Decoration is totally 100% up to your interpretation, so get creative here, have fun. I went with some frosting on the top of the cake and some festive Halloween sprinkles. If I can find the link to these sprinkles where you can buy them online, I'll link it down in the description. And if I can't find the exact sprinkles, I'll link something similar. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this one, don't forget to leave me a like down below. Also, let me know down in the comments what your favorite Halloween candies are. Subscribe to make more messes with me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Happy Halloween!